So I'd say I'm definitely in a much better situation than most people I went to law school with, because I'm just doing what I'm doing because I really want to do it. I want to go traveling, but they are working just because they don't want to have a gap in their CV. And maybe financially wise, it's sometimes more difficult for me because I always have to look where do I get my money from, and they know, well, they're gonna have their salary by the end of the month. But then it's also, I wake up in the morning and I never know what's gonna happen during the day. It's always exciting every day, whereas they just get up and, well, they're just getting ready for another boring day in office.
Okay, now could I ask you to tell us a few of the reasons why you recommend people travel? You said that you're starting to organize the book into sections, and one was reasons to travel. Can you tell me a little bit without giving the book away?
That'll be hard. Well, first of all, I think everyone who's got the chance to see the world we're living in should take this chance. Yeah, 'cause it's just interesting getting to know different places, different cultures, meeting people from all over the world. You lose your prejudices, you learn to judge people, every person as a person, not just as a member of a certain group of people. What else? I think you'll pick up some skills that will be helpful in your job later on as well. For example, foreign languages, like social skills, soft skills like being able to work in a team, for example, if you are traveling in a group.
What kind of work do you want to do when you finish traveling? Or do you ever think you'll really stop traveling, or will you just work for a little while and keep traveling again, or what do you think for the next few years?
Well, I think I'm gonna keep on for a couple of months traveling, but it's also when you're traveling so long, you get to the point when you really want to stay in some place for a while. And, well, I've been thinking about volunteering in some place, maybe for half a year, doing stuff like that. But also, I can see myself having kind of a job, like not going to an office and hating my job, but maybe do something with tourism, but not as a guide, like those big tour buses, like independent travels, for example. I'm not really sure yet.
And what about working in the law field? Do you think you'll work in the field of law in some way, or not? Do you know?
Well, I cannot really see myself working as a lawyer or as a judge, but I'm definitely glad I studied law, because it opens a lot of ways, a lot of different opportunities, lots of fields to work in, and it's still. I'm really glad I didn't start traveling by the age of 17, 18. I'm really glad I finished university first, so I always have something to get back to.
What year did you finish your law degree?
What year? Yeah. I graduated in Germany in 2005, and then I went to South Africa to do my master degree and graduated in 2006. So it's been 2 years traveling now.
And also, on the way here, you were talking about why you decided to go to maybe someplace like Indonesia to actually finish writing the book.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Yeah, about the expenses, and you could have done it in Germany, but...
Well, first of all, the costs of living are going to be so much lower being in Indonesia, and the setting is probably going to be nicer than being in winter Germany as well. And also, I probably have more time for myself, unless I go to a party hostel and stay there. But if I'm just in a little hut on the beach, I will have time, like a couple of hours during the day, to chill out at the beach. But I'll also have a lot of time just to focus on the book, whereas in Germany there's always going to be distraction. Like, I've got all my friends, not all my friends, but still some friends in Germany. I've got my family, and of course I want to spend time with them as well. I think I will work more straightforward when I'm not at home.
And I think you're also saying that when you stay in a country like Indonesia, you can actually your expenses are actually less than if you just lived at home and had your regular all your expenses. Okay, let's see. Hang on just a second. I'll think of some more questions for you. Okay, now I'm going to change topics and I'm going to ask Daniela while I have a law student here about my concepts about, for example, that society puts laws above love in terms of importance, and also about needs and how it. Well, first let's talk about love and law. And I gave you the example: if I really love somebody, but we're not married, I can't take them to America with me, or I can't even travel with them to Australia, for example, or somewhere as my wife. But if I hate them and we're married, then she can go with me. So I've realized in a lot of ways our society, our modern society, places a higher importance on law than on love. And as a law student, I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Oh, and also I asked you earlier if you'd ever discussed anything like this in law school.
Well, first of all, we never discussed anything like that in law school. And I think it's actually pretty sad. And all those people who made those laws must be people who never went traveling, because otherwise they wouldn't judge people just because they've got this nationality or that one. It would be just, well, no one ever said, well, this country is for those people and this country is for those people. Just people decided it, and they just put up some laws, which is pretty sad, because we are actually pretty lucky because we can go almost anywhere. Well, with a European passport, in most countries I do not even need a visa, which is a really good advantage. But lots of people even in South America, like some Colombians, they can go hardly anywhere in the world because people just don't want them in their countries, which is pretty sad because it really limits their opportunities in life.
Okay, and what about my idea about how I explained to you when you're 5 years old you have certain needs and you have certain legal rights, and then when you're around 15 years old you have different needs, very different needs, but your legal rights are almost the same. What do you think about that? And I think you said you never talked about anything like the difference between needs and rights in law school.
No, not really. They are just telling you, well, when you're at this age, you've got those rights. When you're a little bit older, you still have the same rights. Yeah, it's just about rights. It's not really about needs. And yeah, I sometimes wish our laws were more flexible, because they wouldn't just tell you the way it is. They would also consider people's needs. So.
And something else I complain about with the legal system is that feelings don't really seem to come into consideration much at all in the legal system. What about that?
Well, they don't matter at all. And the legal system is just like, that's the way it is, and full stop. Nothing to add.
Yeah, that's kind of my conclusion, that they don't seem to matter at all. Like, for example, I've worked with teenagers, I told you, and I worked with one teenager who was still legally under the control of her parents, and her parents got an actual legal restraining order for me to stop talking to her. And they could do that. And when she was 18, she and I traveled together a little while. We met in person for the first time. We traveled together for a little while. And I asked her if she had ever had a chance to talk to the judge or talk to the lawyer herself. If they ever asked her how she felt about anything, and she said neither one ever talked to her. And this girl is probably genius level IQ. And she was suicidal. She tried to kill herself. She was in the mental hospital. And yet, neither the judge nor the lawyer ever talked to her. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so sad. Well, it's about laws and needs again. Like lawyers, for example, they do not really care about people's needs. Of course, there are some lawyers that are different, but usually they are just telling you, well, this is the legal situation, and this is what I can do for you, and otherwise, well, they probably do not even tell you. They're just gonna, well, I'll do my best, and that's it.
And then I have another kind of complaint with the legal system, but I'm going to stop it now because I'm at 10 minutes.